Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Welcome to 4D Something Podcast.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
It's a little childish and stupid, but then so is high school.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Be excellent to each other.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
Get to the chopper!
There's something very important I forgot to tell you. Don't cross the street.
All right, important safety tip. Thanks, Egan.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
There can be only one.
And now your hosts, Trevor Schaefer and Jerry Mullen.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 26.
The tank top episode.
Yes, because
it is fucking hot in northeastern Pennsylvania.
Holy shit. Not just northeast Pennsylvania, the northeast. I saw today Philly and DC declared states of emergency due to the heat indexes out there.
Oh, God.
The hottest heat index I saw here personally, when I checked it, it was about 2 o'clock. It was 114.
Yikes.
So...
See, I know it's hot when I start breaking out the baby powder. That's when it's fucking hot. That's when it's goddamn hot.
Well, today all I did was pretty much I laid on the couch in the air conditioning. I played Bloodstained. I watched some YouTube videos and then took a nap. I'm like, I am not doing any... Oh, I set up the pool for the kids today on the patio so they can go out and play in that. But I'm like, fuck this. Because we just came back from 3 days of traveling for vacation. So Wednesday, we were in a metal World War II battleship doing a tour in a heat index of 106. So I had enough of the heat.
Yeah. Shut it down.
Yes.
Don't worry. I'm not complaining about the heat. It's hot, but I'm not bitching about it.
I am.
But it's okay. I know. I know you're cold weather people.
I am cold weather.
I'm any weather people. I'm fine with it. I'd rather turn the air conditioner on than push a shovel in front of my house.
Okay, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong there.
Warm has its benefits.
But I would rather, like this year we had an amazing spring where we had the windows open for like actually a month and a half where it was just that nice breeze blowing that. I wish we were back to that rather than you open the front door and you just get hit with that wet carpet in the face.
Yeah.
That shag 70s carpet right in the
face. I say, when we step in and out of the building where I work, because, the building's pretty much open, it's a warehouse, and it's like you get punched in the face with heat. It's just, right in the head, it's bad, But it's been an interesting 2 weeks for me. Money-wise, I've spent a lot of money in the last 2 weeks. I got a different vehicle, finally. I finally got rid of my Honda Civic that I've had for like a decade. I've had it before I had Kate, my youngest, I got a 2010 Chevy Traverse. Really nice, really big vehicle.
I've seen the pictures. I haven't seen it personally yet, but very nice.
Yeah. You know what? When you were away on your 3-day thing, your house saw it.
My house saw it?
Your house saw it 4 times. So, because I swing by, but the other thing I picked up in the last 2 weeks, car, whatever, but
adult shit, it's
adult shit. Yeah, I needed a new vehicle. I think everybody knows. But I picked up my Retron 5. This is the controller for it.
Nice.
I got it off the Facebook Marketplace, which I was a little skeptical of, but the guy I dealt with was really great. I told him I originally asked him if he could hold it till payday, and he says I really can't. He goes, if somebody else wants to buy it. So I discussed it with my wife, and I picked it up, and he mailed it to me. I got it in 2 days.
Sweet.
And 2 days. It was nice. He wasn't far, but it was like an hour drive, and it was like cost me $12 in gas. It cost him $8 to ship it. So I just waited 2 days, But it's really great. I've played my NES, Super Nintendo, and I've played a couple of Game Boy games. In fact, I cracked out the OG Game Boy game.
Oh, actually, that's quite hilarious.
Yeah,
because I have the same one right here because I have to. I have to build a new rack to hold games, so I needed the size of a Tetris cartridge or a Game Boy cartridge in the case. So that's hilarious. Both rocking Tetris.
So I hooked the thing all up, and it came with 2 of these Hyperkin controllers, which are questionably okay.
I heard they were horrible.
They're not bad. I mean, they are micro switch, so I know they're going to last a long time. But this is the D-pad or the stick on this is too fucking sensitive. You can't do.
Oh, it sounds clicky too.
It is. Here, if you can.
Can you hear that? Yeah, that would annoy the shit out of me.
That doesn't bother me. But what, playing it in that 720p, even your Game Boy games, which really can't look that good, look really good, I pulled out that, and I have a couple other OG Game Boy games somewhere, and I pulled them out. I played, I'm not kidding you, I played Simon's Quest on it for about 45 minutes.
Oh, nice.
That's my always number one, system testing game for the NES anyway. And I played Super Castlevania 4, and I have the other one that I played. I had Final Fantasy 3, which is like 6 in real life, but I played all that, and it's great. You know what I mean? One of the best things about it is the save states. If I have Crystalis in here right now, which is a really strange game that me and my brother grew up on. If I pull that out, play 7 other games, and put that back in, it'll know right where I left off and load it right up.
Oh, sweet! You don't have to go through a menu system or anything.
Nope. You just, as soon as it rips the ROM off the cartridge, loads, and then you hit play, and you're right back where you left off. It's the best part of it.
So let me ask you this: since you have a Retro Pi, obviously you have a Batacera USB stick. Do you see yourself now? What?
I have that right here, by the way. I don't have it hooked up at the moment.
Because all these are already emulated on at least 2 different systems, right in your same room. Are you going to get away from emulation now and start collecting the physical carts?
Man, that's a really hard question to ask.
Yeah.
Or answer, I should say. It was easy to ask. I think I have a lot of the games that I grew up with, I want to say. Like Crystalis.
Yeah.
And, all the Castlevania games, obviously. Like I'm constantly looking for Bloodlines that isn't a remake, because I see a lot of remake, repro cartridges out there. I see tons of them, but I want an OG one. That's just me. But I have a lot of the games that me and my brother grew up on. You know what I mean? And we were gamers. I've been a gamer my whole life, but there's just the games that me and him played together, like all the Final Fantasies that were on NES and shit like that. That me and him enjoyed. And I must say that even some of the games that me and our mutual friend Chris grew up playing. Like the Mega Man series and stuff. I have all those games, and if I run into something that sparks a memory, then I would probably pick it up. But I'm not going to kill myself to look for them either. I think just having this, because I really wanted this because I wanted my NES to look good.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm going to get the HDMI cables for the Super Nintendo and for the GameCube and the N and all that, and whatever. You know what I mean? I seriously, but this stopped me from buying a Genesis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm never going to find the Game Boy Advance player for the fucking GameCube. I'm never going to find one that's good.
I saw one at, actually a decently priced one at Too Many Games.
What's decently priced?
$80.
Yeah, I paid $80 and I have 5 systems.
I know. But that is a decent price for the
You're right.
GameCube
The problem
player
with that is you could find 20 of the actual unit.
Yeah.
You can't find the disc.
Yeah, this came with the disc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the hard thing. So every time I hit up a local used guy, I was trying to get one, but this kind of presented itself as a great thing. So, and I have all the Metroid games that I loved. I have them all, but I love them, and I have the ones I want. Now, am I going to come across one at a yard sale or flea market, or maybe that game swap thing that we're going to go to? Yeah, if I see something I want, I'm gonna get it, but I'm not going to step over myself silly for it either. But
I just didn't know if this was going to start a new offshoot in collecting now.
Well, it might. There are some. I didn't grow up with a Genesis.
Yeah.
And now I can have it.
And there is something to be said about playing on original media.
There is something to that. I don't know. The only difference that I see with this, besides 720, it looks really great. But it also, one of the features before I go on to what I was going to say, one of the features of the Retron 5 is to force the original aspect ratio, which is annoying because it takes my 32-inch TV down to fucking this much. You know what I mean? It keeps it to the original aspect ratio.
And you don't like that?
I do and I don't on certain games.
Oh wow! See, I'm a stickler for that. If I can't get the original aspect ratio, to me, it's almost like why bother? Because
I don't know. Sometimes it irritates me and sometimes it doesn't.
The game looks blown out. Well, I mean, because literally it is blown out, but it just looks, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right.
But, you know, one of the things I do like about the Retron 5, and I saw a lot of reviews about this, and I haven't tried it yet, but a lot of people say, you know, it's supposed to be working, is that you could take, like, I have the original Dragon Warrior, which has the save from my original time I played it as a kid.
Yeah.
You could save that save to your memory, to your SD card on the Retron 5. And you could put it, so say you do that and then you play it, you could put it back on the cartridge.
Oh, that's cool.
That is a great feature. But this will also be like, if you got saves from 20 years ago and you want to change that battery out, now you found a way to keep it.
Yeah, seriously.
So the only thing I really haven't tried is a Genesis game and a Game Boy Color game because I don't own any. You know.
Yeah, I don't have any. I can't even help you out there. I never owned a Genesis.
I have Game Boy Advance games and I have Game Boy OG Game Boy games, but I don't have a Game Boy Color game. I never picked up any. The only one I would buy anyway is Legend of Zelda DX. That's the only one I would buy anyway. But so I'm thinking about I spent a little too much money this week, but they were all necessary upgrades.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, the car was a necessary upgrade. You know?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the adult upgrade. The Retron 5, that's the necessary upgrade.
Yeah, it was a necessary upgrade. You know,
the car.
Like I said, my Super Nintendo's on it's kind of flickering. So I'm like, you know, it was part of the idea there. So, and I think that's pretty much it. It's just been a hot as balls week.
Yes. Well, for me, I am running into the opposite area of you. I have not spent a lot of money, but I want to spend a lot of money because about 2 weeks ago, I was up in the middle of the afternoon. Just looking on Craigslist for what the hell was I looking at? Oh, I was looking for a purple Game Boy because I wanted GameCube because I was thinking about getting one with the pure digital out for a proper HDMI out, and we're looking on Craigslist and came across a Craigslist ad from Stroudsburg about a guy giving away free arcade cabinets that are non-working.
The hell you say?
The hell I say? And I kind of was like, really? No, there's got to be a catch here. So I'm looking through, and he had a bunch of cabs available, and lo and behold, I get to, I think it was the 5th or 6th picture, and there, sitting there, full frame, was a Soul Edge cabinet. Full marquee, had a monitor, had the control board, had all the stickers, even had a power cord wrapped around it. And these were all sold as non-working, you know, do what you want, mostly rip them apart, make them MAME cabinets. So I called the guy. He texted me back. I told him I'll take the Soul Edge. Him and I went back and forth, and that's when I did something I very rarely do, which is actually physically call you on the phone.
Yes. I assumed it was a butt dial, but I answered it anyway. So
we only call each other in extreme emergencies, and I think your exact words were, "Is everything okay? You're actually calling me."
Yes, that was what I said.
And I'm like,
that's great.
Yes, I only call you for important things. And you're like, what's so important? I'm like, do you want a free arcade machine? And I think you pretty much went, the fuck? And
I did.
So, long story short, you saw a Die Hard arcade cabinet there. I sent you the ad. You liked that. I texted him. The next day, the family wanted to come, so we loaded up the truck, the 8-foot cart, drove out an hour out to Stroudsburg, met the guy who was a really nice guy, had an awesome warehouse, had an Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 arcade machine I basically begged him for, was willing, I didn't even want it for free, I wanted to buy it off him, and he was working on it to sell it, so I couldn't get that, but we got the Soul Edge machine, we got the Die Hard machine, and then I saw something on the corner. I'm like, hey, can I have this? So I ended up getting a marquee for...
Oh, that's just sexy.
Marvel Superheroes.
That's just sexy.
And I'm not going to pull it out because it's sitting in the back. But I also got the overlay that goes on the bezel around the monitor. Okay. That has all the artwork and everything on it. So I managed to get those that as well. And then here was the kick in the pants. So it was an hour down. Oof. loaded everything up, and I mean, I took wooden 2x4s with me, and I literally screwed down the machines on the edges to the cart to make sure it didn't move. Ratcheted, tied down tarp, and roped it. Got home, unloaded it, went and took the kids home, came back, and I'm like, okay, let me find out what's going on with these cabinets. So I'm like, well, I'll look at Jerry's after I look at mine. So I look at it, and I'm like, okay, monitor controller, how the hell do you open this up? Look in the back, open it up, and all of a sudden there's a manila envelope that says manuals. Open it up, there's a manual for the Soul Edge 1995 arcade board. There's a manual for the cabinet, which is a generic 1992 Midway cabinet, and then the monitor. What's that?
Definitely a Midway cabinet.
Oh yeah, it even says Midway, has that classic 90s wave on the side. Then I look in the back and I see boards there, and I look at it, it looks like the boards. So all I was hoping for was that the marquee lit up. I'm like, if the marquee lights up and the power supply is good, I can put a marquee in this for the main machine. Because that's all in the mood I was for, was just, that was my focus. I want to turn this into a main machine. So I power up the son of a bitch, and it worked. The Soul Edge actually worked. There was a slight monitor problem, which I was able to fix. It was filthy as a pig in shit. It took days to clean it, but in the end, right now, at my mother's house in her garage is a 100% working Soul Edge cabinet that I got for free.
$0, 0 cents.
$0. Hey, if you're texting me, remember I'm on airplane mode.
I'm not. I'm looking for your exact response.
Oh, okay.
To
when I sent you the video of it turning
I'm looking
on.
for your exact response. I'm hoping it's here. I'm hoping it's not so far back that I can't fucking. Oh, come on.
Well, while you're looking that up, then I went to your cabinet, and yours actually needed a power plug. It had a modular power supply like a computer. Oh,
your exact terms were no fucking way.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure. I was, historically correct.
So I stole a plug from inside my mom's, but it was underpowered, and all I was getting was a clicking from your monitor. So I went home, had to get some stuff. I picked up a heavy-duty power cable, plugged that in, and your monitor marquee lit up no problem. But then we had issues with the monitor, and then you came down that night, and I was in the back with the adjustments with the monitor. You were telling me which way to go, and other than your monitor being very dark, yours works too.
It does.
So
that's really fucked up,
And I could see why he would probably want to get rid of them, because Soul Edge and Die Hard are really old and weren't really popular arcade games. Not like...
No, I would say... I have to honestly say, and I know you love the Soul series, but I'd probably have to say that Die Hard was more popular than
absolutely.
Soul Edge.
I was trying to think about it yesterday. I think I may have seen a Soul Edge cabinet once in the wild, because we never really got it. I mean, Soul Edge was the name in Japan. When it came over here, it was Soul Blade in the arcade and in for the PlayStation.
For the PlayStation, yeah.
So, I mean, I think I may have seen one Soul Edge cabinet in my life. That
now you have one.
Now I have one, and I could see why he got rid of them. But for us, two schleps who have always wanted arcade cabinets, to not only get two of them for free, but to have both of them work, and yours needs some body work, which I've been thinking about that, how we can fix all that. I have a way to fix your control panel so it'll fall all the way down. It sounds scarier than it actually is going to be, but it involves a blowtorch. So,
reasons.
Well, your case is all ABS plastic.
Yeah.
So we're going to put some shims in there. I'm going to get inside the cabinet. We're going to heat it up a little bit with a blowtorch, and I'm going to just peel and bend the plastic back a little bit to recreate that gap.
Nice.
But doing some research on your monitor, it looks like if we do a recap, replace the flyback, and then do possibly a refresh on the tube, that, it would be 80-20 that it will get the tube back to 100% working.
Okay.
If it doesn't get that working, then the tube is beyond repose.
So we need a new screen for it at that point.
We would need a new screen, which you're probably looking at. I think mine's a 25. I think yours is either a 25 or a 29 or 30. I don't remember. I know yours is a U2000. It's a Wells, because I actually, that auction that I told you to get, which I found all the manuals online anyway. Actually, yours is a 25 as well. Yours is a Wells Gardner 25. It's a 25K 193 U2000. So, because I saved the auction with all the manuals on there. That way I could download all the manuals for free.
Nice.
And there was nothing on the board there. I looked at your board last time I was there when I redid my marquee, and I didn't see anything on there for controlling the brightness. So what we'll do is we'll pull off the entire back of the cabinet, and we'll see if there's anything on the controller board. If not, we'll look it up and see how much a cap kit and a flyback will be, and maybe even a refresh. Which I just learned yesterday. What everyone talks about I'm on all these arcade forums now, and this is why I'm going to end up spending a lot of money. And I just learned what a flyback is, so I'm talking about like shit like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And that knowledge is less than 24 hours old, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm checking Craigslist and the Facebook Marketplace daily. I'm on 3 or 4 different arcade groups on Facebook, and yeah, I want an arcade now. So
I have to admit that the Marketplace and the groups are the best use for Facebook these days.
They really are.
You know, if you're not into politics, then Facebook's pretty much useless to you right now.
Unless you like high blood pressure, Facebook is not a thing for you.
Yeah.
But that's my thing now. So now I want to move a lot of shit around in the garage, and I want to turn that whole entire side into a little mini arcade. So I want more cabinets. I'm either going to make or buy another cabinet and make it a dedicated MAME cabinet. And I think I want this. This is my midlife crisis, I think, is video gaming. But to have an arcade, dude, how awesome would that be?
The MAME one would be a lot of fun.
Because I honestly, and the other reason for that is once I measured it where I want to put it, I can't fit it. It's too tall. So I literally have no place in my house to put this arcade cabinet. That would be safe. That it won't get damaged by water or an animal or something like that. And even though the body is probably, I'd give the body a 7 out of 10. I mean, it's got defects, but it's not chunked out. It's still that's a 1992, so that's a 27-year-old cabinet. It's seen things, and it's still in good shape. I don't want it to... What?
The horrors.
The horrors. Well, I found the coin mechanism was jammed on the right-hand side, and when I did a crash course on how a coin mechanism works, I ended up pulling $1 in quarters out and 2 Chuck E. Cheese tokens.
There you go.
So at some point, that was probably at a Chuck E. Cheese, or someone just had Chuck E. Cheese tokens that they wanted to try to.
They tried to use them. I bet you that's what jammed it.
So, well, I found an auction online. It's not an auction. It's one of those. It's a forever buy it now that I want to pick up on when I get my my next pay. It's 150 Namco tokens. So it's got Namco on one side and Pac-Man on the other side for $15.
Damn.
So I'm like, that'd be fun, having Namco tokens.
That would be fun.
Which,
sorry. God, it's going to be a problem for you, isn't it?
Oh, it's going to be a huge problem for me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a huge problem for me.
I'm not sorry to be a part of it, but...
No. And like I told you, because, I mean, yours is freaking huge. Yours is taller than mine, because you have that detached marquee, and then you have it's probably, a 3 foot by 3 foot piece of steel diamond plate on the bottom of yours. Yeah, that I told you, if you don't have a place to put it once we get it working, you're more than welcome to leave it there, and
you see,
get there whenever you want.
I want to say yes. I want to say no to that, but I also want to say yes to it because if Kelly heard that, it's staying at your house.
Yes. Well, what I'm actually going to end up doing anyway, for other reasons, is I'm actually going to get rid of the door handle at the garage and put an electronic door handle. So that would be a thing if you ever wanted to stop by and play. I give you the code. You just beep, beep. Text my mom and go, Mom, I'm here. Yeah. You got the code, go in and play to your heart's content because, man,
because you will be.
I will be. Oh, yes. Oh, and once it gets cooler, because there's no air conditioning or anything out there, once it gets cooler, bitch, I'm going to be there all the time.
Yeah. Fuck responsibilities.
I've yet to beat the arcade game because every time I keep playing, I make it to the end guy Cervantes. But by that, with this weather lately, I'm so fucking hot by then. It's like I just want to go home. I don't want to do this. And that's also usually after working on it for an hour or two of cleaning it and figuring out everything. And now that I've got everything pretty much figured out on the whole entire thing, that it's like now I could just go over and enjoy playing it.
Yes.
And work on yours now.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that. We were supposed to do it tomorrow, but it's going to be Sunday, but it's going to be 100 fucking degrees.
Yeah. Plus, I got family. I found out they're coming in from Vegas actually on Sunday, so I'll actually be there, but inside in the air conditioning, probably eating pizza.
That's not bad either.
No, it's not bad.
No. So what else happened in the last 2 weeks?
Hey, I fucked up the last podcast.
You fucked it up.
Again.
You fucked it up.
Yeah.
I apologize for that. Not only was it like a week and a half late, I got a new Blue Yeti mic for streaming, and I decided to use it for the not last week's, actually 2 weeks ago, the last podcast, and the noise gate was set way too high. So you'd hear me talking, and then I would just cut out, and then Jerry would respond. But I think we both agreed that you could follow enough of the conversations, and the conversations were of good enough quality that after deliberation, we did decide to release it anyway. So
absolutely. If
you watch the video version, it might be better because you'll actually see my mouth moving and might be able to read lips.
Yeah. That's what we did.
So,
I put them on. Whenever they hit YouTube, I usually have it running on my TV setup here, and I just leave it running as I'm doing things at the house because I lived it, so watching it's kind of pointless. You know what I mean? But so it did. I knew exactly what we were talking about, so it was easy. So, but let's see what else happened. Boy, Nintendo's been busy.
Nintendo has been very busy.
Yeah. So first they announced the Switch Lite, which is a smaller, non-docked version of the Switch.
Yes, with non-removable Joy-Cons.
So it's the Game Boy Switch.
And a proper D-pad.
Well, that's fine. Yes. They should have did that anyway, the fuckers.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah. Yes.
If you're curious, just, I know you start listening, but listen to the Unnecessary Podcast, and Pat Contry will give you a diatribe about why there should have been a D-pad on there since day one, since Nintendo invented the fucking thing.
Yeah. Nintendo, you invented it. Why give up on the one of the best inventions of all time? Fuckers.
Anyway.
Did anybody ask for the Switch Lite?
Well, yes and no. And I completely agree with this, that they're getting to a point now where the 3DS, compared to these guys here, the screens are getting too small. So your phones are bigger than the 3DS. They're more portable. That they knew they'd have to come out with something. And the fact that we're getting a non-dockable, basically, Switch Game Boy for $100 less than a regular Switch. And it's almost, I think it's only $25 or $30 more than a 3DS is right now. I think a 3DS goes for about $1.60, $1.75, something in there. It's a no-brainer. And the fact it's coming in 3 different colors, it's going to be available for Christmas. Nintendo's going to kill it.
They are. We're going to officially call it the Game Boy Switch.
Yes, we'll call it the Game Boy Switch.
Just officially called the Game Boy Switch.
And then if that wasn't enough, Game Boy, holy shit. Nintendo came out with something to try to outdo that, which is they're doing a revision 1 on the Switch. They're putting the new Tegra chip in there, which is the processor/graphics chip. That's going to be in the new Lite, which isn't going to upgrade the graphics really any. It's just going to make it faster, but they're almost doubling the battery life of this new Switch
and that's
revision.
A big thing. Although personally, I don't play it in the undocked mode very often.
I'm about 50-50.
If I'm going to play it, I put it on the dock and I put it on the TV. Like we played 200 and some hours of Breath of the Wild on the TV. Yeah,
I'm about 50-50. If most of the time, because the kids are watching the TV, I'll grab the Switch, I'll lay across the bed. I had it every night on vacation. I was playing Bloodstained till everyone was asleep. So I'm about 50-50 on that. but we're going to almost, under ideal conditions, the testing has shown up to 9 hours of battery life.
Fucking A.
Seriously.
That's better than the iPhone.
I mean, that's right now. I've experienced personally, you get about 2.5 hours if you're playing a pretty intensive game. You get about 2.5 hours of playtime before it starts. And the one thing I do hate, I like that the Switch lets you know, it comes up that little low battery warning in the top left-hand corner, but I wish it tell you a percentage. Because the one night I was doing it on vacation, I was playing it, and it came up with that low battery, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm nowhere near a save point. So I'm hurrying, I get to a save point, I come out of it, and I was at 13%. I'm like, shit, 13% isn't low. I would consider
that's like another hour.
Yeah, I would consider 10% and below low, so warn me at 10%. But shit, if I could play that for 9 hours, damn.
You wouldn't sleep.
No, I would sleep, but I don't sleep at the way it is, so yeah, shit, yeah.
Yeah, copy that.
Yeah. But that's probably going to be out this holiday too. So you figure a new Switch revision with a better battery life and a new Switch Lite, which, you know, the Game Boy Switch. I think Nintendo's going to kill it again this year.
Yeah, because I don't see.
We're not going to have any new consoles out from anybody else this year.
No, you're not going to have Xbox 2. Or PlayStation 5, you're not going to see that this year.
Yeah.
You'll see a bunch of, games in development. You should, you'll see more of that. San Diego Comic-Con's going on now, or is it over?
Nope, it's going on now, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to see a ton of, videos coming out of that of, stuff in development, but
hardware-wise, you're going to see Nintendo's going to dominate.
Yeah, they got Christmas pretty much locked in.
Yeah.
They just be smart and drop the price of the 3DS XL to like $100.
Yes.
Start clearing out the inventory. They're crushing the market.
Yeah. Which might be good news for me, because I'd still like to pick up a PS4 Pro, that if Sony gets a little scared, maybe they'll start dropping those bundles down to $200 on the Pro, because last year they had them at $200, but it wasn't the Pro.
No, it was the OG
original.
PS4,
yeah. So if they could drop the Pros down to $200, I'd be all over that this year.
Yeah, I don't know what I'll do. You hear a lot of stuff about the PS5 already.
Well, I want it for the 4K playback.
Well, yeah, no, I get that, but if the PS5's around the corner,
but I don't want to lay out $400 or $500 on a PS5 when I could buy a PS4 for $200. And have an entire back catalog of games that are going to be soon on clearance.
True.
So.
But one of the rumors of the PS5
is backwards compatibility.
And my brother keeps telling backwards compatibility with everything.
Yes.
If that's true.
Although I heard only back to PlayStation 3.
I heard all the way back.
Now,
could you imagine that?
That would be awesome.
That would be fucking awesome. One console, 5 generations of games.
One console to rule them all.
To rule them all. That's oddly Sony style. That would be that. That would be that.
But what scares me, though, is if that is going to be the way they're going to go, which is smart for them, absolutely. But I hope we don't see a sticker shock like we did when they came out with the PS3 originally, where they came out at $600 and they couldn't understand why people didn't see the value in that. So I'm hoping they don't come out with a $600-700 PS5 going, but it plays the entire Sony PlayStation library. And it's like, no, it's not worth that, because most of us have at least 2 out of 5 of those consoles.
I have 3 of them in front of me.
I mean, every single PlayStation console since the PS1 has been able to play PlayStation 1 games. So automatically you have a PlayStation 1 player.
Yeah.
I mean, so PS2s, you could pick up a Slim now for $30.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not expensive.
No. You know what's oddly expensive in the aftermarket? The Wii U.
Yes, because it's suffering from Sega Saturn syndrome. That it was a failure. There wasn't that big of a library, and now people are getting nostalgic for it, which I don't see how they can get nostalgic for a game system that is only, 6 years old?
Ish.
I mean, but yeah. Yeah, they ain't cheap.
No.
Well, no, I'll never get rid of mine.
I know my nephew has one, so I'm waiting for him to need a couple of bucks.
Sorry.
Like, Uncle Jerry, you think you want to... Yeah,
it's so hot, I had to clear off the water on my coaster.
Oh, Christ. So, you know what I saw today, too? We'll go to the topic of movies real quick. Sure. I saw that Eddie Furlong, the original John Connor, is going to play John Connor again in Terminator Dark Fate.
Oh, my.
Yes. And I told this to Kelly. Kelly's face summed it up and everything going. It was her response to it, you know.
I will admit I haven't watched all the Comic-Con trailers, but I did watch Top Gun 2 Maverick, which...
Fuck those movies.
That trailer was just tugging at every nostalgic heartstring it was reaching for. I saw... This morning I saw the Jay and Silent Bob reboot trailer, which looks funny and stupid, but if you've seen all the Kevin Smith movies multiple times like I have, it looks enjoyable because, once again, they've brought back all the characters coming right through, so that looks fun. And even small little cameos in the trailer that were just kind of fun that you didn't expect that. And then I begrudgingly watched the Cats trailer because my mother is like all excited about that, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that'll be my wife taking you to see that.
Yeah, it gives me the feeling of the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer.
Someone posted something about it, and I had to agree after I watched the trailer. They're in full cat suits, and they're supposed to be cats, and all the sets are super large, and they're like, okay, they kept the women's boobs, but they took off the nipples. Where did the nipples go?
Yeah. Cats have nipples?
Yeah.
Because...
Are they androgynous cats?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's never really said, you know?
So, but those are only 3. I think they were supposed to today drop a Terminator trailer. I know they dropped Terminator footage, but I haven't actively sought it out. So, I'm hoping for footage from, and this is a shocker for you, but from the new Picard series. I'm hoping to see some of that.
Sweet God, really? There's another one?
So.
Sorry, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Fuck you.
What? I wanted to see if the... Yeah, fuck you. You fucked it up. So... Oh no, there's like there's a Terminator trailer Dark Fate number 2 trailer out there.
Okay.
Number 2. That's 2. All. Let's just.
The first one was kind of very underwhelming, and I'm like,
yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. You know, I'm happy to see Linda Hamilton back, but that's where it stops.
I actually have to. I will have to admit I haven't seen any Terminators since 2.
I've seen them all since 2.
I have to catch them all up on there.
You could skip Salvation. That movie sucks. The one from a couple of years ago with the girl from the Game of Thrones was in it.
Because there was 3 Rise of the Machines, Salvation, and Genesis, I believe.
Genesis, yeah, that's the one. I can never remember the name of that. Matt Smith's in Genesis for about 3 minutes. But Genesis isn't terrible, but it kind of retools the first and second movie into something else, you know? The third one is just completely ignored. It's fucking awful, you know? But, seeing him fight that Christina Loken, I mean, that's pretty cool and all, but, no. You know?
And see, that exactly right there was my feelings when you and I watched Hellboy this week. The new Hellboy, that it was just... No, I can't. No.
Here's my thing about the Hellboy remake. What?
No, that was a reboot.
Sequel?
No, it's not a sequel.
Well, whatever it is, if the other films didn't exist, then that wouldn't be bad.
Nah, the storyline was still all over the place.
I didn't really think that, but. Like I said, if the other 2 movies didn't exist already, that movie would have been okay. But in the shadow of Ron Perlman's Hellboy,
Yeah.
it's pretty tough to beat.
You can.
This is the R.I.P.D. of Hellboy films. You know what I mean?
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
The only saving grace was watching Mila Jovovich for 2 hours.
Yeah, she looks pretty good.
She does?
Yeah. She does look pretty good. But she never looks bad.
No. Anyway.
Yeah.
We had our moment.
Yeah, we need a moment. So, need a moment. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't have any high hopes for Eddie Furlong looking good enough to be John Connor.
Yeah.
He was
you
on
never
Booze
know,
and
though.
Smack for a long time. And
I mean, you never know. I
you
reserve all judgments until I see it. I honestly, and I'll be the one that I thought the Hellboy movie I just bashed, I thought it looked really good from the first trailer. And then I saw the movie and went, holy shit, this is a dumpster fire. That I reserve everything till I see it, because
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can watch any reaction videos or movie reviews or whatever, because you know what? Sometimes I like to watch satirical ones about movies I want to see and see what they say about it. But for the most part, I make my own decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I go to the movie or I watch it at home, and you make your decision. You know. And
I will say about 90% of the movies I love, critics have hated. It's got low Rotten Tomato scores, but I love them.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies that gets beat up all the time is Dread with Carl Urban. I can watch
that's a great movie. Oh my
God. It's a fucking great movie. He got beat up. Not many people saw it. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
That is a fantastic movie.
I know. You ever see Hardcore Henry?
I have not yet. I have it on.
You gotta fucking watch that
I
movie.
know.
You gotta watch that.
I can't watch it with my wife around. She gets motion sick on first person.
Well, I went to the theater with my nephew. I couldn't take Kelly for that one. Just the same way.
But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of movies that are just critically panned and just ignored that I absolutely love.
You know what else is really good?
What was good?
You still haven't beaten Portrait of Ruin.
I still have not beaten it. Did your alarm go off?
Oh, it went off a while ago. I have to bring it up now.
I will say I am close to beating Bloodstained, though.
See, now when you're done with Bloodstained,
yes,
make sure you pick up Portrait of Ruin and finish that game.
Which I fell into the trap, which you're supposed to apparently fall in, is early on you get to the end guy. And you beat him, and because he's actually very easy to beat. And then the whole screen, it goes through this little prologue, and then or epilogue, and then it just comes up, game over. And you're like, the fuck? And I literally freaked out. I'm like looking up, I'm like, what did I do wrong? And here you're supposed to do that. That's the bad ending. And now you got to go do everything else, and you could actually get, I think they said 3 different endings in there. But,
nice.
But the nice thing is you can go back and fight him as many times as you want.
Oh, okay.
Which is nice. And it's very reminiscent of Super Castlevania 4. Because when you die, it does go game over. There's just no lava afterwards.
Very nice.
But I just unlocked 76% and change of the map. Because you have to unlock 100% of the map, and you have to kill one of every monster to get the good ending. So, and the tough part...
That's like a fucking OCD's dream.
Yes, because I found out because there's locked doors and you need keys. And the one door, it's the last level you'll find. The key is in there, and the only thing behind the door is one single monster. It's that last monster you need to get 100% on the game.
Yeah.
To get the good ending.
That was like when I played the Castlevania fucking combo thing on the PS4 that I bought, the Symphony of the Night and Rod Blood.
The Anniversary Collection.
The Anniversary Collection, that's what it was. There's one monster in the game that only comes up in one boss fight, so you have to technically take damage from this boss until he spawns this enemy out.
Oh.
So I'm literally just standing there, waiting for him to do it, so I could kill this one mud guy or whatever it is, and fucking go, then decimate the boss in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I
hate that shit.
I was playing today for a while, and I'm at a point now in a new area where it's literally I have, 2 different bosses on the map that are pretty close to each other, and I kept getting my ass kicked by both of them. And at that point, I just kind of had to walk away. It was like,
Yeah.
And the tough part is, and neither of them, one's by a fast travel, but the fast travel isn't close enough. So you have to go through this double level of pure hell to get to either boss. And in doing so, you end up using at least one of your health potions, and you're limited on the amount of potions you can carry. You can't carry unlimited potions. So you're trying to save up all your potions for the boss, and then you end up at least using one or two to get to that boss, which is a prickish, but in that, that good kind of prickish move that it makes it challenging.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want it to be so easy that you just, you completely fucking eradicate the guy. You gotta.
And I was at a point where, because I've been playing it now for almost 20 hours of gameplay I have in there, that I am a little overpowered. Because I've just been going back and forth and playing, and instead of fast traveling, sometimes I'll just go through and just, run through a dozen levels to get to where I need to go. And
to gain the experience?
Yeah, that kind of power level. And, I mean, the weapon I have is doing some massive damage, and I got to this new area, and I was cocky, and I got my ass handed to me in about 5 minutes, and I'm like, shit. I hit a hard part. The game
That's
just
okay, though.
the game slapped me down, and I mean it was in a good way though. It's like that, okay, don't be a cocky asshole anymore. And I love games that do that on purpose like that, but don't do it just to be a dick.
Yeah, they subtly remind you that they're in control.
Yeah.
Once in a while. Like Final Fantasy games are notorious for that. You think you're up there in a high level, then you step in a new area and you're fucking annihilated. You're like, well, I gave it a try,
EverQuest was always like that. You'd power level, and you go to a new area, and before you know it, you're running to the gate because you're dragging a train along with you.
Yeah.
And for those of you who played EverQuest, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And Jerry, thank you for nodding and pretending you knew what that meant.
I totally did, because I have no idea what that fucking means. At least I'm honest. Not all of us had the EverQuest problem.
Oh, dude. I had a bad EverQuest addiction.
You did.
I had.
I remember. I remember Trev's problem.
I had a full-time job, and I was working less hours than I was playing in a week. And I was still working over 40 hours a week. That meant I was playing 40 to 50 hours a week.
Just enough sleep to survive.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. I know how it is.
Yeah. Back in the dial-up days.
I've done it so many times. It's almost embarrassing.
I will say Bloodstained is the first game in a long time that has actually captured me in that way. That it's like, it's not something I want to walk away from. It's something like, no, I will beat you and I will enjoy beating you.
Yeah.
And that's
what John said about it. He says, I couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
He goes, once I got into it, he'd be coming home from work and he'd be picking up dinner on the way home just so he could play Bloodstained quicker.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it really is a Symphony of the Night sequel, the way it's designed. And I wasn't too sure about it until recently, where I got 2 new abilities. And it was just, when I got the one ability, I was like, nope, this is a Symphony of the Night completely sequel.
My brother pointed out to me, not that I've played Bloodstained yet, but I will, is that Shovel Knight's in it.
Yes, he is.
Shovel Knight's is an enemy in that game. And Alucard has a odd cameo in it, but they don't say it's him.
I haven't seen anything like that with Alucard. I heard there was something like him in there. There is a character, I will say, that is basically like Solid Snake.
Interesting.
They're even saying that they wonder if it was the same voice actor that did it, because the voice sounds exactly the same as well. So, but yeah,
I'll have to look that. I want to look that up when we're done with this. I want to see that.
So
at least hear that, And
I'm trying not to. The hardest part about all this is I know you want to play it. And I'm like, I want to talk about it, but I can't because I don't want to spoil anything for you.
But you know what we can talk about?
What can we talk about?
Stranger Things Season 3.
Stranger Things
has been absorbed by both of us in the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
And goddamn, was it good?
It was. It absolutely was. They have not had a bad season yet.
No, but you know what? I saw a meme again, and a guy I work with before I calls them memes. I want to punch him in the face every time he says it.
Wow.
It was like I used to say Q or Quee.
Quee, yes.
Quee, yes. So anyway,
you fucked it up.
Yeah, I totally fucked it up. Okay. My daughter's coming home soon, so I may have to walk away for a sec. Okay, I am here. But anyway, we'll get back to Stranger Things.
Yes.
Okay. Whole season was good, but the meme I saw was season 3 of Stranger Things was better than the first 2. Changed my mind, and it's pretty fucking hard.
I would say all 3 of them. My wife and I actually had a discussion about that, and this is going to be spoiler free. By the way, we're not going to do any spoilers
to the best
yet.
of our ability.
Yeah, I mean, it dropped on the 4th, so it's only been out for 2 weeks. So sometimes people don't get a chance to watch it that quick.
Yeah, because all those people that listen to our show.
Yeah. The way they structured season 3, if you look at it, each season was structured differently within, I'll say, the group dynamic. And this season spread them out the most.
It did.
Which gave it a completely different feel. And I think that's why people feel this is the best, because you almost got almost got 3 seasons out of it, because you were dealing with 3 separate storylines throughout the entire season that finally came together literally at the end.
Yeah.
At the Star Court.
At the battle at the Star Court. I have to say that besides the obvious 80s references that were in it,
yes,
Back to the Future, had its moment. The best reference in my book was the Never-Ending Story.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's by far the best
absolutely.
part of the season.
So.
Oh.
And I will say, and my wife afterwards, she loves looking up spoilers. And I told her when we watch a show, if you find a spoiler, you are not allowed to say it until after we're done. I hate spoilers. And she looked it up afterwards and saw an interview with the Duffer Brothers. And they said that the way season 3 ended and the feeling you felt at the end was on purpose. And they said what they have coming up is going to make sense. And I could talk to you about it after the podcast, because this is going to be spoiler free. But when I think that's the reason people are saying that this is probably the best season, because it feels like it feels like that third movie in a trilogy. Because things do get wrapped up, things are left unsaid, things are left undone, but you come away very satisfied.
Oh, and you did.
And everybody comes out of the season changed. There was one scene, and it's not a spoiler, but there is a scene at the end where they do a lot of flashbacks to the first 2 seasons, and you suddenly realize how much these kids as actors, the actual actors, the kids have grown up.
Oh, yeah.
Season
I know what
1.
you're talking about.
And you're like, oh my God. It's kind of like when you watch Harry Potter and you go back and watch the first one. It's like, I watched these kids grow up, and this is how you feel like with Stranger Things. And they really address that in this third series or third season. And that's why it has a completely different feel. And,
it did.
And I think that's why people are resonating with it, because it's at a very awkward and important time of your life as a kid. This season takes place in. So
I'd have to say that, I mean, if you haven't seen Stranger Things at this point, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're missing out big time.
But not saying that the normal bad guy, but using the character from the last season as the bad guy, in the Camaro.
Yeah,
he was fucking awesome.
Yes. That
was one of the best written things they could have done with that character.
Yes, and then. Okay, no spoilers. No. We'll talk.
Your
about
mind's changed on him after a while.
I was going to say there is redemption, that you feel empathy at the end.
You do,
which I didn't think I could feel for that character.
Oh man, it's hard to,
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Stranger Things season 3. If you haven't watched any of them, just stop listening to this and start watching now.
And they're not long. They're excuse me, they're an hour long. There's 8 episodes per season, so
you could do it in a day.
We did it in 2 days. Is what we did.
We did it. I think we did it over like last weekend. I think we watched 4 episodes or 5. Then I think Wednesday we watched one more. And today when I came home from work, we just finished it.
Yeah.
7 and 8, but. And it's nice to see Winona Ryder with a job. It's
So, but yes, maybe we'll do a spoiler cast on Stranger Things, but still a little too early for that.
Yeah. It was really good though.
It was.
It
really was. It hit you in the feels.
It did. It did hit me in the feels. Especially the bad guy I was just talking about.
And it's weird for you and I because we're in that in-between generation where this took place in 85.
Yeah. I was 7.
We were both
7,
8. That we're younger than the characters, but not too far removed.
Yeah.
So, like, my wife asked me, because they go to the theater to see Back to the Future. She's like, did you see Back to the Future in the theater? I said, no. And she goes, oh, I said, the drive-in. She's like, oh, I didn't think you're old enough. I'm like, hell yeah, I was old enough. It's like, but it's just, it's one of those weird things that we can completely relate to the era, even though we're, what would we be, technically 5 years back from where they're supposed to be?
Yeah.
So, that's very cool in a way. That is very cool.
It is.
So.
Yeah. It's been a long week for me for work. I'm sorry if I'm a little
No,
zoned.
that's fine.
It's been like a 55-hour week week for me. I'm whipped.
Well, being on vacation, traveling for 3 days with 2 kids was enough for me as well.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I came home and I think I slept for like 13 hours.
I can't do that anymore.
Oh, no, I needed it.
I know if I needed it, I would, but I can't sleep past 4:30 in the morning anymore.
Well, I was the first one awake every morning in the hotel, getting everyone up and together, and I was the last one in bed, making sure everything was set up for the next day, and so I was only sleeping like 5 hours a night at the hotel. Plus, I hate sleeping in hotels.
Oh, no, man. When I was away in Manchester for work, I slept like a fucking baby in that bed.
I am so used to where I live. I have the highway right next to me. I'm so used to having that noise that I have to turn the TV on and just get interested in something for me to fall asleep.
No, you see, long time ago, and I think we've talked about this a few times, I have those 50s radio dramas on my phone. They'll fucking put you right out.
Yeah.
Right out.
So, luckily the beds were comfortable. I really enjoyed the beds this time. And that, I hate when you get to a hotel and you have a hard bed and a pillow that has no fluff to it. That's just like, it ruins your time.
Well, we both have different...
Yeah.
Everybody has a different way of, you know... I need a pillow that's rock hard. I can't sleep without one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That I hate when you put your head in the pillow and it goes right down to the mattress.
Yeah,
and it suffocates you. It's just like, that's what I'm talking about. It's got to have some body to it.
Yeah.
And but I needed some serious rest. And
yeah. No, I got you.
Then last night I stayed up a little too late drinking, and
there were issues.
Yeah. But they were fun issues.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
I had a Jerry St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, that's not... No. No, you didn't. Liar.
No, I could never drink that much.
No, you shouldn't either. Nobody should. What do I got here? So how are we doing on time, brother?
We are at 58 minutes.
Wow, it seems like that went... I don't know. That just seems like it's been longer than that.
Oh, the problem was you and I have been busy the last week and a half.
Yeah.
I've been working on our arcade cabinet, then went on vacation. You've been working. It's like... I haven't been working because of the weather.
Fuck that heat.
I can't wait. Monday's supposed to be 81 degrees. Shit, I'll go out there with a smile and fucking cut grass all day.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be nice. I know my aunt's going to call me to want to come up and cut the grass tomorrow morning, and I'm like...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
I have to go tomorrow morning and trim my mom's bushes in front of her yard because my uncle, that's who's coming in from Vegas. And I promised her I'd do that before they show up, so...
Oh, well, that's
I need to get up at like 7 o'clock in the morning and get there by 8 before, while it's still in the upper 80s,
Yeah.
And do that.
That's why I tell you, like 2 weeks ago, I got up at 6:30, started cutting the grass right at 7 a.m. because I knew it was going to be fucking blistering hot. I was like, I'm not fighting it. I
honestly don't think I have anything else here, sir.
I don't. Do you have a pick of the week or?
Yes, I do actually. Do you have a pick of the week?
Well, I'm going to do mine first.
Sure.
And I'll send you I have to send you the link for this, but I could get off my phone. Fuck that. So my pick of the week is a YouTube channel I found kind of accidentally. I think it's because you gave me that April Wilkerson, the woodwork girl. So this channel came up, I think, via her, but it's an all wood turning channel.
Oh.
You don't even see the guy's face, but he makes some amazing stuff. A lot of stuff is he takes just like a fucking hunk of wood, like a piece of a tree that's been dried out, puts it on the lathe and just starts working. And he has like, a plan, obviously. But he does a lot of stuff with resin, too. Like he'll cut out parts of it, and then, or if there's defects in it, he'll add colored resin to it. It's fantastic. I can't stop watching this guy.
Nice.
And you know what I mean? He's been doing videos for what I could see is a little while here. But some of them are just so mind-blowing. And wood turning's like this thing I would always want it to get like back into. I used to love doing it, in high school and post-high school for a little bit. But now it's like I'm a little too old to start a new hobby. I know. I just don't have the space for a wood lathe.
What's in your basement?
Junk.
So get rid of the junk. A wood lathe is not that big of a machine.
Yeah,
it's not like you want a Bridgeport and start machining.
Yeah.
A Bridgeport's fucking huge.
Okay, anyway.
Go to Harbor Freight.
Yeah. I'll look. But this channel is great. If you enjoy that kind of stuff or woodworking in general, because this guy does a lot of neat stuff, mostly wood turning though. But yeah, check it out. I'll give you the link when we're done here. But really neat. The channel's called, I probably should have said that too.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. The channel's name is actually, I'm assuming it's the guy's name. It's Andy Phillip.
I haven't heard
artist,
of him.
wood turner, maker. So
nice.
Pretty neat. But enjoyable to watch. Now I'm going to get the link for it while you go over yours.
Mine is actually something I watched years ago, actually, about a year and a half ago. And they stopped uploading over a year ago. I actually got right into it right when they stopped uploading. And they uploaded 2 old videos recently in the last 6 months. The channel is called, ironically, Arcade Impossible. I've kind of been bitten by the arcade bug. And it's all about a guy who had, I think he had 3 arcade cabinets to start. He had an X-Men 4-player, he had a Donkey Kong, and I think a Pac-Man. And they're all in a front room of his house, and he kind of got bit by the bug. And he found a couple cheap cabinets on Craigslist and stuff like that. And then he would fill up his front room, and then it got to a point that he started learning how to repair them. So he'd buy broken machines, then he'd buy extra machines and use them as trades. And then it got to a point he had too many. He turned his basement into a full arcade. They painted everything black, put black lights in there. He actually does VoIP for a living, which is voice over IP, internet telephone. They bought a old payphone and they put it on the wall, and it actually to this day still works. They have a special number you can call in and leave a voicemail to the arcade. But he's got pinball machines. He's got it's mostly vintage machines, meaning 90s and earlier. He does have some old cocktail cabinets in his arcade, and each episode is half hour maybe. They're short, and you'll hate him for some of the deals he gets. You will absolutely hate him. But it is fantastic to watch someone. And pretty much the premise is, he never thought owning his arcade was possible. And he found a way to make it possible. And I've started rewatching some of those episodes since I started working on the arcade cabinets. And it's like...
So I'm assuming he does some of this shit on the cheap-ish?
What do you mean?
So he's not paying a lot of money for things?
He does sometimes. Rare cabinets. He pays a lot. But he was buying them fully working in the beginning. And then he started buying them where this wasn't working or that wasn't working. And he figured out how to start replacing the caps on the monitors and swapping out monitor chassis. And then he'd get into trades where he traded one machine that he had for a machine he was after and say like 3 extra game PCBs. That he started amassing this collection and started repairing enough that when he would open his garage, and because they show the whole loading and unloading, his garage used to be just empty, and he would work on that machine. Well, then it got to a point he'd have like 5 or 6 different machines, but they would never show up in the arcade because he bought them as trades. He'd buy them, fix them and then either sell them or trade them for cabinets he was looking for.
Nice.
So he started off not on the cheap. Then once he found out you could buy machines that aren't completely working or not in the best condition for cheap and then work on them, that opened up a whole new door. And then every once in a while he'll go back and forth of, okay, I got this. I think he picked up what was it? I think it was San Francisco Rush or Cruisin' World. It was something ridiculous he found for $75. And the hardest part was to dismantle it and get it into his basement. But then other times he's paid like almost $2,000 for like an original mint condition Robotron cabinet.
Oh, Robotron 2084, that's a great game.
That's his favorite game, and he wanted a mint cabinet. And
well, yeah.
But that's the thing. It goes on either side. That, he will spend money, but he also will get shit dirt cheap. But it's a good series.
Okay.
So that's it.
I think we're going to cut this one short, aren't we?
I think we are. I'm for once. Not only am I, have nothing else to talk about. It's fucking hot down here. I want to go upstairs in the air conditioning. This little fan I have above me isn't doing anything but blowing hot air on me.
Yeah, copy that. I don't blame you. So 2 weeks I think we'll be in August by then.
Yeah, actually, August 3rd. How good?
Yeah. I have to remember to put it on the calendar. Otherwise, Kelly's like, "What are you doing tonight?"
Yeah.
So I'm doing Trev, honey.
And on that note,
we're going to shut this show down because I ruined it.
Oh, I'm gonna do one blatant self promotion. So
like and subscribe.
No, I'm gonna do self promotion. Not for this, but for me personally. Is if you go on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/121701. Last night I just posted a 38-minute video, and it is long, but it's worth it, on the whole restoration thus far of the Soul Edge cabinet. So you'll literally see it in the Craigslist ad, loaded up on my trailer, unloaded off my trailer, filthy, and then being turned on, and then cleaned up.
Link, annotation. Anyway,
no, I'm not going to put link annotation, but no.
I've been waiting to use that line for I don't know how long. I've been holding on that one for
Click
a while.
on this card up here. No.
Yeah, click here.
And I
hate videos that do that too. Ooh, I hate that.
I hate now on the Apple TV is when they do that, they fill the entire screen up now with all the different links. Because you can click on them, but I mean, your view was this, and now you're seeing this much of the last 30 seconds of the video because it's all this shit around
YouTube does that a lot too, where they put the fucking windows up.
Yeah.
The ads up. I hate that.
And I want to thank this week's sponsor, which is Nobody.
Yeah.
Again. So
this show brought to you in part by no one.
No one. This show is brought to you by us, who pay for everything.
Copy that.
So
all right. So don't forget like and subscribe, and we're not on Instagram. We're not on Facebook.
No,
we are on Twitter. And we are on the internet. That's pretty much it.
So what's our Twitter handle?
40-something show.
There you go.
I got it right. Yeah.
And what services are we on for podcasts?
We are on all of them.
Yes. Not all of them. We're on iTunes Store, and we should still be on the Google Store, I believe. Google Play Store.
Copy that.
So, and then YouTube, we have our own YouTube channel. So, 40-something podcast. Yeah.
I can't believe that name wasn't taken.
No, it wasn't taken. 40-something podcast was not taken. That name wasn't taken. In fact, our Twitter handle would be 40-something podcast, but it's too long for Twitter. So it had to be 40-something show.
That's okay.
But yes, like, subscribe, review. We actually got some 5-star reviews on Apple iTunes, so thank you for that.
Yes.
So, and of course, the new thing on YouTube now is, like, subscribe, and click the little bell so you know the notification.
Yes, copy that.
Click the bell.
All the channels do that. But if you really, really like the show, sponsor us.
Yes. Comment below that I would like to sponsor a show. We will shill anything.
Yes. I will seriously we don't care. We really don't. We'll hold up photos of you in front of our own faces.
NordVPN, Dollar Shave Club, they'll sponsor anything. So we'll show you. No problem.
Yeah. I see a lot of ads for that Manscaper. You ever see that fucking thing?
No, and that sounds horrible.
I think we should shut it down now. No,
I think we should shut it down. That reminds me of the Body Groomer episode of Growing Up Geek.
Yeah, we shouldn't go back that far.
Too much was revealed in that episode.
Good times.
Good times. So, Jared, thanks for joining us again. Trevor,
as
thanks
always,
for joining us. You're welcome.
Where would we be without one of us here?
Exactly. Oh, God, we got to shut this shit down. Okay.
Yeah.
See you in 2 weeks, guys.
All right.
Bye.